Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. So we're done with the settlement phase, and we got the butcher we need to go deal with. He's pretty much just waiting outside for us. And yeah, let's go ahead and. So the team I went with is I have Hitate. I went ahead and selected her proficiency. She's going Qatar proficiency. We have she has extra sense and tough, which is great. And I need to set her armor. She's wearing full rawhide, and we have the bonus from the shrine, so that's going to bring her up to 3 in all locations. Like so. Alright. Next, I have Shikiaki. Mainly, she's here because I want her to... One, I need her to level up, and 2, she has the Orator of Death to give us some insanity. Because since we didn't go Embrace the Darkness, brain traumas are actually a threat. She's got the skull helmet, which is attached to the counterweight axe. She doesn't have a proficiency left yet because she hasn't leveled. And we get 1 in all locations because of the shrine. 1 because she's wearing a cloth. And then an additional 3 to the head because of the skull helmet. Which is good because there are attacks that specifically target the head, like bite, essentially. That'll take care of her. As far as departing survival, should be pretty straightforward. She'll be maxed out because of the hovel and ammonia, so she'll be capped out. Lily Black is going to be using the bow. I've also set up the infectious lunacy cards, which we talked about last session. I'll be putting tokens on each of these cards as they take mental damage, and they'll frenzy if they ever get 3 or more. Lily Black is going to have bow proficiency. And not much armor, unfortunately. Armor is probably not the biggest issue with the Butcher. It's actually bleed, because a lot of his attacks do bleed, and a lot of his reactions do bleed, and his trap card does bleed. But even with bandages, you usually don't have time to use them. In any case, she's got the bow, she's got the clawhead arrow, which will hopefully help us hit more. And then the last person we took is Aya. Aya doesn't have a reroll. She's missing an arm, but I'm going club proficiency with her, and she's going to use that new mace we made, which will hopefully reduce the butcher's speed. Because reducing his speed is actually pretty good since he takes 2 actions. I also took her because she has extra sense and craze, so she can dodge twice, just like Hitate can. And that's about it. She's got the cat eye circlet as well, so she can kind of take a look at hit locations and all that. So as far as the setup's concerned, we kind of did a little bit of the setup last time. You start out with a stone pillar and you get 1 random terrain. So let's go ahead and get that random terrain taken care of now. We do not need your hit location deck. Alright. I did look up the rewards, and they have changed, so I'm going to have to read them out if we actually win this fight. So where is it? Terrain. Oh, actually first I need to take out 1 of the pillars. That is not a pillar. That is a crab spider. And my mouse is on the fritz again. Anyway, stone columns. So here's the stone columns. I don't have to worry about placing them because it's hard-coded to be in the corners. You get 3 stone columns. They're essentially 1 by 2 or 2 by 1, whatever you prefer. It's an obstacle and impassable. What this means is it blocks line of sight, and it cannot be passed through with the hunters. It's destructible. When a survivor collides with this, stop their movement in archive terrain, they suffer 1 damage. 1 damage to a random hit location. And if a monster passes over this terrain, archive the terrain. Essentially, they just bash through the pillars. Where their position is not even remotely useful, so I'm not too concerned about it. Let's go ahead and shuffle this and then draw. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Debris. So this has to be set up adjacent to any board edge. Roll 1d10 to scavenge. If carrying a scavenger kit, add +3 to the result. 1 is entangled, you are knocked down. 2 to 3, you find nothing. 4 through 6 is you get a random basic resource. 7 through 9 is a bone blade, and 10 plus is a scrap sword. Getting a scrap sword really early on because of debris is pretty amazing. And it would be very useful in this fight. Anyway, so yeah, we get 1 debris. It has to be set up on a board edge, which we do start out at we have to start at the bottom of the board. So hopefully we can make that happen. Undo, 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 undo. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Why is that not moving back? What just happened? Whoa, whoa. Okay, undo? Alright, give me a moment. For some reason, the undo was not fixed. I think it's because I had it. So my mouse randomly double clicks, and that means also sometimes when I'm just clicking and dragging, it'll just decide to release the drag and click again. And that's what happened. I dragged over the hit location stuff, and it clicked it. And since it was active, while it's active, you can't undo it, or something like that. So just made a big mess. So I went and took care of that now. Anyway, we'll set debris down here. We're defending our home, so we will be the ones going first this time. But since I can't really reach him, I might not attack. It's kind of tempting, but we'll see. Yeah, the issue, I mean, I have bone darts, so I guess I could attack. I mean, the sooner we get this done, the better. But some of the things I sometimes try to do is I just back away and let him come to us. And usually what that may happen is he may get a bunch of moods as well, which could potentially reduce his health. So there's a few options. And we can actually start out standing on this, so it's not too bad. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It has to be on the board edge, that's right. So yeah, we'll just put it on Shikiyaki and go from there. Alright, I have dreaded trophies out just to remind me. And then we need to set up the Butcher. So Butcher is right here. So he's got 7 basic, 5 advanced, movement 5, toughness 9. He's got Berserker, fast target. We have infectious lunacies, and he has dreaded trophies. And he has a different instinct. His is trying to butcher the face of the closest survivor. The survivor suffers 1 brain damage per monster level. So that's what happens if he has no target. Alright, so we'll go ahead and shuffle these. So we need 5 advanced. And then, I believe it was 7. Yep, 7 basic. I generally want to win this fight, even though I may not get too much out of it. Because, one, I don't want my characters to die, but, I mean, that's pretty much the main reason. I don't want my characters to die. So we'll get that going. We need to get the hit location. Watcher, Kingsman, the Hand, the Butcher. So the Butcher only has 15 hit locations, one of them being a trap. And at the start of all of his, every turn, he will shuffle this deck. So, something to be aware of. Alright, with all that said and done, we can go ahead and get started. How's everyone's insanity? It's okay. Alright, now something to note is the infectious lunacy. The moment we frenzy, we won't be able to dodge anymore. I'll talk more about frenzy as it comes into play. Alright, so we go first. I'm going to go ahead and have Lily Black search the debris. 2. She's knocked down. Not a big deal. Shikiyaki will search it next. She's also knocked down. Well, it's good we're getting these rolls out of the way. Next, I'll have Hitate go around and search it. Find nothing. Oh, the 2 was actually find nothing, not knocked down. And then I'll have Aya search. 4. Find useful remains, get a random basic resource. Okay. I wanted either the basic resource or the scrap sword. I don't need a bone blade. Alright, I love juice. Not bad. Alright, and that's it for actions. I'm not going to go anywhere else. So we're going to go ahead and just get started and let this thing go. So here we go. Shuffle, shuffle, and let's start. First AI card. Wild Carve. Closest threat facing, closest threat. Okay. And then move and attack. And then what this does is it's speed 2, damage 1, accuracy 4. Anyone that gets hit by this thing and takes damage gets bleed. And then all survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 1 damage to a random hit location and gain 1 bleed. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and go for closest threat. And he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 movement. Then he draws another AI card. Infinite Kick. So there's been a nerf on the Butcher. This card was not originally in the deck. What he originally had, he had 2 cards called Kick. And the effect is essentially what an Infinite Kick was. It was, you do the attack, and then you draw another AI card. And the problem was, if you get into a situation where Kick, or either the last card or last 2 cards are all Kick, it creates an infinite loop. Because he'll just keep drawing Kick over and over again and just eliminate everybody. So the nerf they did was they replaced one of the kicks with Infinite Kick, which is this one. And then there's Regular Kick, which now does just basic action instead of a draw AI card. So this card we need to get rid of as soon as possible. So closest threat, blah, 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 blah. And he's going to go ahead and move in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And then he draws another AI card because of Infinite Kick. Gaze of Truth. Closest threat facing, closest threat. The Butcher looms over the target mere inches from their face. If the Butcher is adjacent to the target, roll 1d10. I have to move first. So I have to pick... Oh, also our controller right now needs to move down. So right now it's Shikiaki. Alright. And yeah, got all that. Alright. So I need to pick a target. And what this does is... Okay, so this thing could do brain damage, knockdown, understanding, and a random disorder. So it's a Hitate and Aya. We'll pick Aya. So Aya will be the target. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rolls 1d10. Okay. On a 3+, target suffers brain damage equal to the monster's level and is knocked down. So she's going to get knocked down. Brain damage is equal to the monster level, which is 1 right now. So she'll take 1 brain damage. This will give her a lunacy token, so I will note that with a one of these tokens. She's over here. There you go, lunacy token. And then she gets 2 random disorders. Oh, she also gets +2 understanding, which that needs to be handled first. So +2 understanding is going to trigger her insight, and she's going to end up getting analyzed. Alright, so let's take a look at story events. Insight. I believe it's all the same, but I'll check again. Insight. Ignore index injury. Yeah, it's all the same. Okay. So this is during the Showdown phase, so this is the first time we'll have this trigger during the Showdown phase. Watching the chaotic movement of the monster, you perceive a pattern. Perhaps its motives are not so different from your own. You can imagine yourself in the monster's place. Gain the following ability and roll on the table below. At the start of the survivor's turn, if you are adjacent to the monster, reveal the top AI card, then place it back on top of the deck, so you'll get to see what's coming. And then we roll 1d10. 1d10. 6. +3 is survival, +3 insanity. Aya currently has maxed out survival, and now she's insane, which is probably for the best. Okay. And that takes care of that. She now has Analyze, and now it's going to hit our turn. She is adjacent, so I get to look at the top AI card. It's going to be Embrace the Pain. Alright. It's kind of like the opposite of the Bloodthirsty. It gets tokens as you wound him. So that's his top card. Alright. And just to make sure I did that right, look at top card and return it. Yeah, so you don't do anything else. You just see what it is. Alright, Sukiyaki will get up. We'll go ahead and need to resolve this thing, get that out of the way. Alright, come on, mouse. There we go. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and have... I'm going to have Hitate go ahead and do an encourage. Actually, I'll have Lily Black do an encourage. No, she's actually low on survival. Yeah, it'll be Hitate. I'll roll 1d10 to see if she keeps the point. She does, so that'll get her shouted up. Okay. Alright, first things first is we need to get out of this corner, and Shikiaki is kind of blocked in. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and have Lily Black go around. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all I'm doing here is I'm going to shoot that arrow. I went into the blind spot purposely just so I can get extra accuracy. So Lily Black has 2 accuracy, so it goes from +6+ to 4+, and she's in the blind spot, so it's 3+. So 1d10. Of course I missed. Well, takes care of that. Well, that was unpleasant. I'll go ahead and move Shikiaki around, and she'll make her 2 attacks. She hits on 6s. Yes. Freaking 80% chance to hit. Still missed. Also, something to note about crits. You can only crit a location that has a crit information on the hit location. So if you crit a location that is doesn't have a crit, then you didn't crit that location. It just is a normal hit. In the case of a founding stone, if you throw a founding stone and it hits a location that doesn't have a crit effect, it does nothing because founding stones don't wound, they only crit. So something to be aware of. Anyway, so 2d10 hits on 6s. 1 hit, top card. Furious Greaves, full move towards the attacker, don't move if already adjacent. Okay. So 1d10 plus 5, because Shikiaki has +1 strength, and the axe is 4. Alright, 12 is a wound. So good news is we get rid of that mood card that would have been annoying. It does do a full move towards the attacker, so it's going to turn and go here. And this is going to do knockback 5. I get the pick direction, so I'll go there. And that's going to knock her down. Alright, I'll go ahead and have Shikiaki go ahead and encourage Hitate back onto our feet. And then I will go ahead and move Aya around. And she's going to attack with the Skullcap Hammer. So 2 attacks. I hit on 6s because of blind spot, so I hit once. And I don't think she has any other modifiers. She doesn't. Top card. Cleaver, the attacker, impervious, the attacker's heart is frozen with dread. Attacker gains +1 insanity. Okay. That's fine. So that was Aya. She'll get insanity. I could look at the top cards. I'm not going to yet. I'm not in that state yet. But I am going to go ahead and surge with her and attack again. So 2d10. Alright, a hit and a perfect hit. When you perfect hit, the monster is when you perfect hit with the Skullcap Hammer, the monster is dazed and gains a -1 speed token until end of turn, and the monster can only be dazed once per round. That's pretty much why I surged and attacked again, because I want it to happen. So I'm going to note this with a blue dot, because it's only temporary. So -1 speed. Also, since she is crazed, she gets +1 insanity every time she perfect hits, so she's up to 5 insanity now. Alright, so I draw 2 hit locations. Luckily, it doesn't matter if I hit a trap or not, because the perfect hit effects go off first, which is why I did it. Wow, that was weird. My mouse keeps doing weird things. Anyway, so we got the Armored Pig's Shoulder. This is super dense. Super dense is if the attacker attempts to wound this location with a frail weapon, it is destroyed. Archive the weapon at the end of the attack after all hit locations have been discarded. So this is why I didn't bring the bone axe, and why it's important to have some not frail weapons, because you'll still be able to conclude the attack with the weapon, but after it's done, the weapon breaks, and that's a lot of resources lost. And then we got the thick cape. The butcher's cape is decorated with the shriveled, screaming faces of its victims. Reflex, roll 1d10. If the result is greater than their courage, they suffer brain damage equal to monster level. Alright, so we'll go for the pig shoulder first. Her weapon is not frail, so it should be fine. Just making sure. Yep, it's not frail. It's going to be 1d10 plus 3 and plus 1. So 1d10 plus 4. Alright, that's a crit, but there's no crits, but it's still a wound. Alright, so that's done. Wow, that's kind of weird. Oh, that's just some weird stuff. Anyway, next is the thick cape. 13 is a wound. Okay, and then it needs to do a 1d10 back at her. 4, which I believe is higher than her courage. Yeah, her courage is low. So she's going to take unbrain damage, which is, of course, going to give her another lunacy token. Okay, mouse, behave. There you go. So, lunacy token, copy, paste. So she's got her second one. Once she gets 3+, she'll have to remove them all and get Frenzy. Alright, so right now it's debuffed, which is what I wanted. She's already surged, so that's all she can do right now. I'll go ahead and have... I'm going to go ahead and have Shikieki surge. And make 2 attacks. Actually, no. Not yet. Not yet. I'll have Hatate go next. And go to the blind spot. She's -1 speed, but she has paired weapons, so she's going to attack 3 times and hits on a number. She hits on 6s. Roll 3d10. Just 1 hit. Furious Gauntlets. If you fail, it will try to intimidate. So 1d10 plus 5 for her. Yeah, 3 for the weapon, 2 from her strength. That is a wound. Remember, it's toughness 9. That takes care of that. So 10 hit locations left, so 10% chance I'll hit a trap card now. And everything else is fine. Alright, next, I'll go ahead and... You know what, I'm going to go ahead and search with Hatate, and I'll see if I keep the point. She doesn't, so she'll be down 1 point. And she'll make her attacks again. 3d10. 1 perfect hit. Furious Shoulder. Reflex, which will violently spin violently and smash everything around him, which is a bit annoying. Which will pretty much end our turn. But that's okay. 1d10 plus 5. Failed to wound, so that kind of sucks. So knockback 5. The way this is going to work is it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this will slide. If you're already up against a wall, it's going to slide along it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was it. Yeah, knockback 5. And then all of them just got bashed, which isn't too bad because it's knocked down on our turn. Oh, I forgot the disorders. I completely forgot about Aya's disorders. We need to resolve those. Squeamish and Hoarder. Okay. So let me just make sure that's right. Oh, just gain 1 random disorder. So we didn't get Hoarder, we got Squeamish. You can't handle bad smells. You cannot depart with any stinky gear in your gear card. If a status or effect would cause you to become stinky, lose all your survival. Okay, so she's squeamish. Yeah, my apologies. Luckily, it didn't affect anything. And so yeah, It's because of the Gaze of Truth effect. We did the understanding part, and then we kind of moved on, forgot about everything else. It happens. Alright, so it's going to be Monster's turn. Monster Controller's going to go over to Lily Black. And we're going to go ahead and resolve this. First, we need to reshuffle the hit location deck, because he has a fast target. And then top card. Backhand. All survivors in the impact zone. No target menace. Alright, there are no one around him right now, because he just blew everyone away. Yeah, so we'll do Menace. Turn the Butcher to face the closest survivor. The survivor suffers 1 brain damage per monster level. Closest survivor is 6. I think everyone's actually the same distance. 6. All right. I'll have it have it target. Well, it's not targeting. This is just does the effect. I'll have it go after Lily Black. She'll take 1 brain damage, and then she'll get a token. Okay, come on. Alright. Copy. I think I already have a copy, but just in case. Copy, paste. Alright. No one's frenzied yet. Alright, next, he needs to draw another AI card. Okay, here's regular kick. Closest threat. There are no threats. Everyone's on their back. So it's just going to do Menace again. I'll just have it target Lily Black. So she'll get another token. I'll bring her down to 6 insanity. Alright. So that knockback kind of helped out. It kind of wasted the perfect hit we did earlier, but that's okay. Alright, so everyone's going to get up. And we've done 4 wounds so far. Not the worst start. And so far all we've taken is brain damage, which is going to eventually make us go bonkers, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and move in with Aya first. She'll make her 2 attacks. Hits on 7s. 2 hits, none of them perfect. Butcher Mask, and okay. And we got the Overpower Trap card, so... all survivors in the Zone of Malice take a 1 bleed token and suffer knockback 5. So I will be taking the first bleed token for the battle. I was about to click back on that. That would have been not great. She's going to get knockback 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She doesn't get knocked over, but she does get knocked back. And then perform basic action against the attacker. Alright, basic action is on the opposite side. Essentially, it's just a regular attack that does bleed. So he's going to go ahead and turn around and be like, what up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there anything I was thinking of surging, but there's not really anything I could really surge with, so that's fine. So roll 2d10. Both hit. This is accuracy 4, 5 because they have evasion. She can't dodge because she's the attacker and she's doomed. So both of these hit. And it's going to be waist and body. 1 damage each. Body, waist, and she gets another bleed. So yeah, as you can see, it can add up because of those trap cards. And I believe Doom resolves at the end of the attack. I believe it's at the end of the attack. Doomed. Okay, so yeah, when the card's resolved, the Doom wears off. Okay, With that, I'm going to go ahead and surge with her. And this time I'm actually going to go ahead and take a look at the top 3 hit locations using that cat eye circlet. And see what we got. 1, 2, 3. And I can put them back in any order I want. I'm going to put the Butcher Mask on top. Okay. And that's it. She's used her surge. She can't move anymore. My screen froze. Okay, there we go. That freaked me out a bit. Alright, it's going to go to Hitate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if she hits with all 3 attacks, I know that the top 3 are safe. So, 3d10. Hit once. Okay, Butcher's Mask. If you wound this, it'll actually stagger him and reduce his toughness. So, 1d10 plus 5. Failed to wound. And then he will full move towards the attacker. If he ends its movement next to the attacker, they suffer knockback 5. Well, he doesn't actually need to move. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. That's it for that. Lily Black will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to throw any Founding Stones or anything like that. And this gets resolved. It's the end of the round, so I'll go ahead and move the priority token to Aya. We'll shuffle the deck again, and we get to reveal 2 more AI cards. We did nothing that round, except get hurt. All non-death survivors intimidate all targets. On a result of 4+, they suffer 1 brain damage per monster level and are knocked down. Yeah, these are nasty. And that's just a basic card. I'll start with Aya first because it's kind of important. Okay, she does not get intimidated. Lily Black. 4+. She will be intimidated. She's going to get knocked down. Yeah, knocked down and brain damage. This is going to give her her 3rd token, which will immediately resolve and give Frenzy. So Frenzy, which I believe is still the same in this. Severe injuries, brain trauma. So Frenzy, it's number 10 right there. 1d10. Insanity, get a speed token, a strength token. You ignore slow on all weapons. On melee weapons, rather. You may not spend survival, you may not use fighting arts, you may not use weapon specializations or weapon masteries, can be gained multiple times. So essentially you just get really angry, get a bunch of buffs, and then you can't use any like attacks that require thought, essentially. Or abilities that require thought. So I'm just making sure that the trauma is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Ignore slow, you may not spend survival, you may not use fighting arts, you may not use it. Yep, and last till end of Showdown. So right now she is frenzied. We'll mark this with a purple dot. I need to roll 1d5, I believe. She gets insanity as well. Yeah, 1d5 insanity. She also gets a strength token and a speed token, which is both good and bad. So strength, speed. Alright, and then roll a 1d5. She gets 2 insanity, so she's up to 7 again. Alright, and then I need to roll for the rest of the people. So 1d10 on Shikiaki. She's knocked down, and then Hitate. Okay, Hitate is still up. Shikiaki is down and takes a brain damage. She also gets a token. Okay. Alright. So, let's start with the obvious. I'm going to have Hitate do an encourage. Okay, she keeps the point. And I'm going to do it on Lily Black. Alright. And then first I'm going to attack with Aya. She's attacking from the blind spot. All missed. I'll have her surge, because she hasn't screwed that up yet. So surging, still missed. Okay, well, all those rolls have been taken care of. I'll have Lily Black go next. She'll stay in place in order to shoot her bow. She gets 2 attacks now because she's minus 1 speed plus 1 speed now, so they cancel each other out. So 2d10. And I'm not going to aim. I would have hit on 5s, and I hit twice, so I'm good on those. Come on, stupid mouse. Okay, good news is I didn't hit any trap cards. I'll go ahead and just resolve the cleaver. There's no point in rolling for it. So she'll get +1 insanity for that, because it's impervious. And then I'll roll, she has +2 strength thanks to the token now, so it's 1d10 plus 5. Alright, she wounded, which means she meets her requirements, which is good. Top card goes away. Oh, also, I forgot to look at the top card due to her scouting ability. So we got rid of Hack City, which is good and bad. Hack City is like his signature move. I'll point out one thing that's kind of neat about Hack City is if you survive it, you get a story event, so that can get you a special secret fighting art that's really, really good. But essentially, it's 4 speed, and every time he hits, he rolls another attack. So it's just brutal. All right, but we don't have to worry about that now. Reflex slashes out. All survivors adjacent suffer bash. So bash is knocked down. And then full move towards the furthest survivor, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. All right. Lily Black can't do anything else. She can't spend survival now because of Frenzy. And Shikiaki is still on the ground. I'm just going to circle around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And attack. So roll 3d10. 1 perfect hit, the rest are normal. Or the rest are misses. Furious Bellows. Alright. 1d10 plus 5 because of Qatar and Strength. Alright, that's a wound. Alright. So no new AI cards. He has 6 cards left. We know what all of them are. And unfortunately, one of them's Kick, the other one's Infinite Kick. Alright. He releases a deep guttural roar unless the attacker is deaf or has 3+ courage. They suffer brain damage equal to the monster level and are knocked down. Hitate has 5 courage, so she doesn't get knocked down. Alright, so next I'm going to go ahead and surge with her. I can't encourage again, unfortunately. And I think you have to be standing to encourage. But I'm going to check to see if I keep the point. I don't, so she'll be down to 2 points left. And she'll make her 3 attacks and hope she doesn't get a trap. Only 1 hit. Alright, Furious Vambraces. This one is a nasty basic action where it'll have a Headhunter, which means it always targets the head. But that's not the end of the world. Alright, so roll 1d10 plus 5. Okay, that is still a wound. So now we get to reshuffle this. And whatever the top card is. We're getting really close to possibly hitting hitting some problems here. I'm really concerned about the Infinite Kick now. Monster Controller is going to be Hitate. Alright. Let's see if we can do this. First AI card. It is a new round, so I can start doing surges if I need to. Alright, Infinite Kick. So we're going to have to let this one go through, just so it can get back in the discard pile. So closest threat facing, closest threat. There's nothing in facing, so it'll be closest threat. I'll pick Hitate, because she's the only one that can survive the hit right now. Okay, so 2d10. So the accuracy is 4, 5 because of her evasion, and then 6 because of her armor that gives evasion. So that brings her up to 6 hits. So only just 1 hit. I'm just going to dodge it, just so I don't have the knockback in priority. Actually, I might just take it. It doesn't do bleed, so... What would it would be waste? Okay, I'll just take the hit to the waist and become priority target. One, two, three, four, 5. Alright, and then draw AI card. Backhand. All survivors in the impact zone. No target is menace. In clockwise order, attack each survivor in the impact zone. If there are no survivors in the impact zone, menace. So the blind spot's safe, and the only person that's going to get hit is Lily Black. So that actually works out rather well for us. So 1 attack at 5 because of evasion. So we'll roll 1d10. Alright, that's a hit. She can't dodge, so it's going to do... because she's frenzied. She takes 1 damage to the legs. Okay. And then she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And get knocked down. Okay. Then it hits our turn. Oh. Actually, let me check something. Okay, so even though I had priority target, there's no the attack is pretty straightforward. It literally just says hit everyone in the impact zone. So the target he actually picked was Hatate, but he remains in place and attacks everybody that's in the zone. So that resolves the priority attack. But I don't think it gets removed because he didn't get attacked. Yeah, she technically was picked, even though she wasn't a target, or ended up not getting hit. All right, so Aya gets back up. Sukiyaki gets back up. Right now, Lily Black is still seeing the dark sky above. So, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and attack with Shikiyaki. At this point, I think everyone has wounded. Yeah, everyone has wounded at least once with their weapon that are proficient, so we're good on that front. Though I guess that's the least of our worries right now. So 2d10, 1 hit. Also, I should have shuffled this earlier. Alright, Furious Scrag. If you get the death blow, it'll give you a bunch of stuff. This is also one of the few locations that can actually be critted on the Butcher. So yeah, Furious Scrag is pretty neat. So I guess a little bit of story about this updated card. Originally, it didn't have a critical wound. That's kind of the only change that's been made to it. And when certain, I think it was like certain influencers, or whatever you just call them, people that are like show off the game on YouTube or stuff like that. They got this. They had this epic fight against the Butcher, and they did this final battle, and they threw a Founding Stone or something like that, and or I think they maybe had an axe and they critted, and they're supposed to do 2 wounds or something like that. But technically you couldn't crit this location originally because there was no crit wound. And Poots was like, yeah, that didn't have a crit location, but that was so awesome, I'm gonna go ahead and add one to it. At least that's what I've heard. And so he added this crit wound location, and you get the Mighty Strike Fighting Art if you get it. So 1d10 plus 5, because 4 for the weapon, 1 for her strength. Not a wound, unfortunately. Gave that great story, and Shikiyaki ruined it. I am going to go ahead and surge with Shikiyaki. 2d10. 2 hits. Okay. Cleaver is just going to make her go insane. And then I'll go ahead and roll the other one. Okay, that is a wound. Alright. So here's the good news. If you failed this, the gut, it does basic action. If you wound, it knocks him down, and all survivors get +1 courage. So Hatate now is at 6 courage. Shikiyaki is at 4 courage. Lily Black is at 5 courage, and Aya is at 2 courage. And now he is knocked down. Also, we did a wound, so top card goes away. Alright, 4 cards left. Alright, and that's it for Shikiaki. Tate will go... Well, actually, I'll move Aya up to attack first. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I'll move up to attack first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She hits on 3s because the monster is knocked down. 2 hits. Okay. Cleaver resolves, it's impervious. She gets +1 insanity instead. Sorry if I mess up those insanity numbers. Vambraces, we don't have to worry about the reaction because it can't be he can't react while knocked down. So 1d10 plus 4. Yeah, 4. So 1d10 plus 4. That is a wound. So top card. Next, she has 1 survival left. Go for gold. You know what? Go ahead and surge. Do your 2d10. 2 hits, because knockdown. Okay. Don't have to worry about any of the reflexes, so doesn't really matter what order. I'll do Furious Shoulder first. 1d10 plus 4. That's a wound. Okay. So all that's left is backhand and infinite kick. And then Black Cape. Failed to wound. Alright. Hatate will go ahead and encourage Lily Black. She'll see if she keeps the point. She doesn't. She's down to 1 survival. And then I'm going to go ahead and shoot. I'm going to use Lily Black first. She will shoot and use her... it's cumbersome, so she can't move. So 2d10. Perfect hit and a regular hit. I am surprised we have not hit the thing yet. I'll do Butcher Mask first. So 1d10 plus 5. Okay, successful wound. We do not trigger the reaction though, because he is knocked down. That includes even the beneficial ones. And then Furious Bellow. That's another wound. The last one would have been Infinite Kick. Alright. There's 6 hit locations left, and one of them is a trap. But I have to go. I have to try. So, 3d10. Only 1 hit. And of course, it's the overpower. Alright, so it's going to hit everybody. Knockback 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And all of them take bleed. So that includes Aya. Aya. Shikiaki. Hatate. Okay. And then it's going to do basic action on the attacker, which is Hatate. Also, he does get back up because of the trap. So roll 2d10. Hits on 4's base, 5 because of her armor, 6 because of her evasion, so both attacks miss. Alright. It's now the monster's turn. AI controller goes to Shikiaki. At this point, he has no cards left, so instead of drawing a card, he's just going to do basic action twice, essentially. Closest survivor in field of view. I'll have it just target Hatate, it's fine. Both missed, and then does basic action one more time. I'll have it target Hatate. Both attacks miss. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and open with Aya moving. She doesn't have any cards or any survival left, but she's going to go ahead and spend an action to take a look at the top 3 hit locations. Alright. We'll do that on the bottom, that, and that. Okay. She'll go around and attack. So 3d10. This time only hits on 6s. One perfect hit. Failed to wound. Good times. Just making sure she doesn't have plus accuracy. She doesn't. Alright, well. He gets to turn around and bite her. So it's going to do basic action, but all attacks will hit head. And I can't dodge because I'm attacking. Only one hit to the head. Hatate will take that damage to the head and get a bleed. Okay. Lily Black will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's all she can do. Shikiaki will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's all she can do. And Hatate will spend her last survival. And roll. She does not keep it. I believe it's 6+. Yeah. So that's her last that's our last survival point. All right. Well, can you end it this round? 2 hits. Would have hit on 7s. So Furious Breastplate has +2 toughness, and if I roll a nat 10 on it, his lantern will explode and blind her. So I'm just gonna go for the shoulder and hope for the best. Failed to wound, of course. Alright, so knockback 5 and bash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good news is they're knocked down, so they're not threats. That is it, so monster goes next. Alright, closest threat and facing. 5, 6. So it's going to go after Lily Black. Alright, 2 attacks. Hitting on 5s. Both hit. Head and legs for Lily Black. So light wound there. That, she does get a bleed. And then basic action again, same target, because she's there. Both missed. It's on 5s, so it's now our turn. Everyone's done their wounds that they need to do it, so we're good on that front. I'm going to go ahead and have Shikiaki attack where she's at. Actually, yeah, I'll just have her attack where she's at. So she hits on 6s, and both missed. Alright. Lily Black will attack. She hits on 5s. 1 hit. Okay, Furious Greaves. 1d10 plus 5, I believe. Yeah, that's all correct. Okay, 1d10 plus 5. Just barely a wound. That's enough to kill him. Alright, we win. So we'll go ahead and show off the rewards. It's a little bit different, but I'll show off the picture anyway. So story events. Butcher. So this is what the old reward was. It was just plus experience plus weapon proficiency and then some rewards. It's been changed. It's actually a little bit more interesting now. So I'll read it to you. Aftermath. The Butcher is an inspiration. Any victorious survivor may immediately select axe proficiency, regardless of age milestones. So now if you switch proficiencies, from a different one, you'll reset whatever your progress was. But the neat thing about that is I can immediately take axe proficiency for Shikiaki, even though she hadn't leveled up yet. Alright, and then everyone's going to get +1 hunt XP. So, boop. Shikiaki will level up. I'll roll that in a second. There's Lily Black. And then there's Aya. Okay, and then roll 2d10 for age. 11, I'm pretty sure that's a fighting art. Yep, fighting art. She gets Clutch Fighter while you have 3 or more bleed tokens. Gain +1 strength, +1 accuracy. Very, very situational, but it's something. So, Clutch Fighter. Alright, and then it was +1 hunting speed, and then you get +1 weapon proficiency level or +X proficiency levels. So she'll get plus accuracy proficiency level, even though she just got it. And then guitar, bow, club. And then the last thing is the rewards. You roll 1d10, add the butcher's level to the result, and get whatever's listed. So roll 1d10 plus 1, 2. The butcher vanishes in a flash of blinding light. If you can get 7 or higher, you can get his cleaver, which would be a lot more useful, because the cleaver is actually really good. But it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's not a big deal that we didn't get it. I mean, I could re-roll it, but... Well, I'll show off the axe anyway. Let's see what it is. It should be rare gear. So the butcher's cleaver is this: 2 speed, 5 accuracy, 5 damage, paired. Sentient, you have to be insane to activate it, and if you ever die, you do lose it if the person that wields it dies. So yeah, you know what? I'm okay with not having it. I don't have to worry about losing it now. Alright. And that takes care of that. So yeah, we didn't get anything out of it besides the experience, but we didn't lose anything either. Used up a lot of survival, but that's how it is. The fight could have gotten a lot worse. There are certain mood cards that can just really mess you up. Like there's one that like every round he does he does brain damage to everybody, and so you essentially everyone just goes crazy. But yeah, we had some nasty ones. He had double hack. He had bite. He has screaming. This is the one where it does damage every round. Pretty much, it stays active until someone dies. And Embrace the Pain makes it so he gets more actions if you beat him up. So not too bad. We also did get a love juice, so it's not that got that going for us. So, and we'll be having 5 endeavors when we get back. So pretty good. Anyway, I am the Depressed You, and this was Kingdom Death Monster. See you guys later.